Did you know some foods can spike your blood sugar worse than soda, even when they look healthy? Most people think they're doing good by just avoiding sweet treats. But in this video, I'm going to talk about 11 common foods that can spike your blood sugar just as fast. These are often labeled as healthy, low fat, low sugar, or heart smart, but they're actually blood sugar bombs. In this video, I'll walk you through each one, explain why they're so sneaky, and show you what to eat instead. Hi, I'm Jared. I'm a registered nurse and a certified health coach. I help people lower their blood sugar naturally without crazy diets or calorie counting. These are the exact blood sugar traps I help my private clients spot and replace. And once you learn them, everything gets easier. So here they are. The 11 foods that spike your blood sugar just as bad, and in some cases, worse than soda. And many of them are probably in your pantry right now. Number one is fruit juice. Even 100% fruit juice is just soda with better branding. Neither have any fiber, and both are liquid sugar. Now, a common myth is that natural sugar is better, but your body really doesn't care if it came from a fruit or a factory. The spike is the same. Number two is instant oatmeal packets. The package may say heart healthy, but it's so processed that your body breaks it down just like candy. And a lot of people believe that oatmeal is always a smart choice, but instant oatmeal is so processed your body breaks it down almost like sugar, especially when it's flavored or eaten without protein or fat. Number three is granola and all kinds of snack bars. These are heavily marketed as energy food, but most of them are just candy bars with better branding. Often they're labeled as low in sugar. So instead of plain sugar, they use clean-sounding sweeteners like date paste, fruit concentrate, organic rice syrup. But your blood sugar doesn't know the difference. And a lot of these say no sugar added, and diabetics take that as a green light. But that phrase just means they use something else to make it delicious. And that something else will probably spike your blood sugar just as bad as a candy bar. Number four is low-fat or fat-free yogurt. When the flavor from fat comes out, sugar or some sneaky substitute goes in. Sugar-added ones hit you with hidden sugars with a long list of clever names. The low-fat food is healthier, myth is fading, but food marketers still lean hard on it. And the truth is, fat slows digestion. When you take it out, your blood sugar usually gets worse. Number five is whole wheat bread and wraps. Now, whole grain sounds good, but most of the time it's just refined flour in a fancy bag. And you can't judge a food by its label because whole grain can mean a dozen different things. And your blood sugar doesn't care what the package says. A lot of diabetics were taught that whole grains keep blood sugar stable, but the truth is, most of them don't, especially if they're not true whole grains, and if they're not paired with a fat or protein. Number six is no sugar added and sugar-free products. Now this one makes me a little bit angry, because when labels say no sugar added or sugar-free, but the replacements still spike your blood sugar, that's a little frustrating. Names like maltitol, sorbitol, fruit concentrates, brown rice syrup, there's a lot of different names, but they all have the same effect. Most people believe that if the label says no sugar or low sugar, then they're safe, but that's not true. You can't trust the marketing on the front of the package. You have to look at what you're actually eating. Number seven is protein shakes. A lot of drinks marketed as low-carb or diabetic-friendly still contain hidden sugars, or worse, maltodextrin. That's a fast-digesting carb that spikes your blood sugar even faster than table sugar. And diabetics trying to eat clean often assume that it's a protein shake, so it's healthy. But in reality, most bottled shakes are anything but healthy. They're processed, sweetened, and engineered for taste, not for stable blood sugar. Number eight is rice cakes. They're a health food staple, right? They seem clean and simple. They're pure starch. No fat, no fiber, no protein, nothing to slow the spike. And a lot of diabetics think if something is low calorie, it's okay to eat. But low calorie doesn't mean low impact. Rice cakes are not your friend. Number nine is dried fruit. Now, a handful of raisins might as well be a handful of jelly beans. A lot of diabetics assume that dried fruit is healthy, but it's not. It's concentrated sugar without the water or fiber from real fruit, so it hits your blood sugar fast. Number 10 is coffee creamers. Even the sugar-free ones sneak in corn syrup solids, maltodextrin, or sweetened milk powders. The flavored kinds might as well be dessert. And a lot of diabetics fall into the trap of thinking, it's just a splash, it's no big deal. But a few splashes a day is probably going to show up in your numbers. And finally, number 11 is gluten-free snacks and baked goods. Now, a lot of diabetics mistake gluten-free for blood sugar friendly, but most of these products are made with rice flour, tapioca starch, or potato starch, all of which spike your blood sugar fast. So it's important to understand gluten-free doesn't necessarily mean healthier. When it comes to blood sugar, it's often just as bad or worse. Now, we all want to feel normal. To eat normal, we want tasty and healthy in the same sentence. And we can have that, but first we have to understand a few key things that most people were never taught. By the way, if this is helping and you're wondering what to actually eat, I put together a free guide called The 6 Steps to Lower Blood Sugar Naturally. And it breaks all this down and gives you a simple game plan to follow without calorie counting or crazy restrictions. And you can grab it below in the description. So why do these foods hit so hard? And how does a no sugar added granola bar end up spiking your blood sugar worse than a donut? Well, number one, they digest too fast. Most of these foods are ultra processed and stripped of fiber. That means your body breaks them down almost instantly into glucose. And when that flood hits your bloodstream, your insulin has to work overtime to bring it down. Eating these foods is kind of like throwing gasoline on a fire. You get a quick burst of energy and a sudden crash. Number two, labels lie. At the very least, they mislead. No sugar added, sugar-free, gluten-free, low-fat, they all sound great, but most of the time, it's just marketing. And what gets added instead is often just as bad or worse for your blood sugar. And again, you can't trust the front of the package. You have to look at what's actually in the food, especially sugar alcohols like maltodextrin, refined starches, and 1,000 other names they use to hide blood sugar bombs. Number three, these products lack blood sugar buffers. Real meals include fiber, fat, protein. These are all blood sugar buffers. But these 11 foods are mostly just fast carbs with nothing to slow them down. They digest quickly and spike your blood sugar. Number four is a little scary. Some of these don't show up on your glucose monitor, but they still cause damage. And this one's a little bit tricky. So take fructose, for example. It might not spike your glucose reading, but it still gets processed by the liver, raises triglycerides, feeds fatty liver, and worsens insulin resistance over time. Just because there's no spike doesn't mean the food's harmless. And number five, they trigger cravings. Now, quick spikes are always followed by crashes, and crashes leave you hungry, tired, and reaching for more junk. That's how people get stuck in the cycle. Number six, these items add up fast. It's not just one food. It's all the little things stacked together. A sweetened yogurt at breakfast, a granola bar for a snack, a few splashes of creamer. By the end of the day, your blood sugar's been on a roller coaster. And that's what keeps you tired, hungry, and stuck. Number seven, these items trick you into thinking that you're doing the right thing. And that's the real danger. You're doing everything right, but your A1C doesn't agree. And that's not your fault. The food industry wants it that way. They've engineered foods to spike fast, trigger a dopamine hit, and keep you coming back for more. The only way you can win is to see through the label and start paying attention to the impact, not just the ingredients. So let's talk quickly about some smarter swaps, because smart beats strict every time. And you don't have to give up everything you love. You just need some smart swaps. And you don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. You just need to make better choices, one meal, one snack at a time. Here are some simple upgrades to the foods we just talked about that won't spike your blood sugar and will actually keep you full. So number one, instead of fruit juice, go whole. Or some infused water and skip the juice altogether. If you want fruit, eat the whole thing with the fiber. But if you're just craving the flavor, drink some water with a little fruit, lemon, cucumber, or mint. You still get the taste and the hydration without the spike. Now, instead of oatmeal, instant oatmeal packets, try steel cut oats with fat and protein. If you love oats and you gotta have them, go with steel cut or overnight oats instead. You might add some chia seeds, some nuts, a scoop of protein powder, some grass-fed butter or Greek yogurt. These things will help slow down the digestion and keep your blood sugar stable. Number three, instead of granola bars, grab some whole food snacks. Ditch the energy bars. Even the low sugar ones. Go with boiled eggs, a handful of nuts, a cheese stick, or a homemade low carb bar. You're going to find more protein, more fat, and less regret. Number four, instead of low fat yogurt, choose full fat, plain Greek yogurt. Skip the flavored stuff, go for the plain, full fat Greek yogurt. There are a lot of options that you have to make it slightly sweet without the crash. So put your favorite down in the comments. Number five, instead of bread or wraps, go low carb or open faced. Now low carb tortillas are a solid option once in a while, but you have a lot more options than you think. Lettuce wraps, open-faced sandwiches, tomato slices as a bun, or even cheese as a bun. Don't be afraid of looking weird. Most people are walking around with no idea their blood sugar is out of control. Over 90% of people with prediabetes don't even know they have it. But you do. That means you're eating with awareness. For blood sugar control, not for likes. Number 6, instead of sugar-free treats, try dark chocolate or just skip it. Most sugar-free treats still spike insulin, even if they don't spike your blood sugar. That's because sweet taste alone can trigger an insulin response. And a lot of these products are loaded with things like maltitol or hidden starches. If you need a sweet fix, try a small square of 85% or more dark chocolate. You'll get the taste and health benefits without the crash. And if cravings are controlling you, that's your sign to step back. Break the cycle. Don't even do the dark chocolate. Just sip some tea. It gives you a pause, settles the craving, and doesn't feed the fire. Number 7, instead of bottled protein shakes, make your own. Blend some unsweetened almond milk, protein powder, chia seeds, and some nut butter. Add a couple frozen berries if you want, but keep it clean and whole. Keep it simple. I'm going to look for a protein powder with no added sugar, no maltodextrin, and no artificial sweeteners. Stick with simple ingredients like whey isolate grass-fed beef or clean, plant-based blends sweetened with stevia or monk fruit. Number 8, instead of rice cakes, use cucumber, bell pepper, or avocado. Try to go with a real food that still gives you the crunch. Number 9, instead of dried fruit, go fresh and pair it. Eat fresh fruit in moderation, and always pair it with protein or fat. Think apple slices with almond butter, or berries with a handful of nuts. Those combinations help keep your blood sugar steady. Now personally, I stick with small amounts of berries. They're simple and they have a low impact on my blood sugar. Number 10, instead of coffee creamers, use real cream or nut milk. Skip the flavored junk. Personally, I use heavy cream, but you can use unsweetened almond or macadamia milk, or just drink it black. You'll save your blood sugar and your energy. Number 11, instead of gluten-free processed foods, stick to real food. And if you need to go gluten-free, focus on whole foods, not boxed replacements. Meat, eggs, vegetables, nuts, cheese, avocados. Real food doesn't need a label. Look, this doesn't have to be overwhelming. You don't need to count every carb or cut every comfort food. But you do need to know what's spiking your blood sugar and what to do instead. And you need to know that everything that says low sugar, no sugar, is not telling you the truth. And by knowing these things, that's how you stop the roller coaster and start getting real results. So if you're ready for a clear, no-nonsense plan that shows you exactly how to lower your blood sugar without meds, I put together a free guide, The 6 Steps to Lower Blood Sugar Naturally. This is the same framework I've used with my clients, people just like you who wanted the results without the confusion or restriction, and you can grab it in the link below. You'll know what to eat, what to avoid, and how to finally get control. And if this video helped you, I encourage you to keep watching. Jump over to the Copy This 7-Day Breakfast for Diabetics, where I lay out a full week of diabetic breakfast, things that I would recommend to my clients to eat, things that I eat myself. A full week is planned out, and I'll link the video in the description. I'll see you in the next video.